Hey everybody, it's me, it's Michael B. Happy Monday night. Tonight on the show, we're going to be talking all about when's the right time to buy Arcade1Up Cabinets. I may have recently purchased one. And of course, when is the right time to sell one, because I may have recently sold one. And I just may regret that sale. Anyways, we're going to talk about that and maybe give some insight to people out there that are always saying which cabs are the best ones to get right away, which cabs are the best ones to wait on for a sale or clearance, and when the hell should you sell your cabinets if you're planning on upgrading or bringing in a different cabinet. On top of that, we've got a lot of news from the past week. We've got legacy cabinets that were just announced, and there might be a little bit of a backward step with them, which we'll talk about. There's also a new product from At Games was announced, and of course some new online games coming out from our friends at iArcade. That and so much more tonight on Chill and Chat with Michael B. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Oh, almost a good transition there. I pressed the wrong button just slightly going back and forth. All right, let's see who we got in the chat here. We got Alfred Berger. Alfred, how are you, my man? Hold on, bring it over here so I can see it. We got Alfred Berger. We've got P-Dubs Arcade Loft. Bobby Timpson. What's happening? 19K Fox. Of course, it'll be a Smash TV cab. Hobby Hands. No, Robotron's not really confirmed. P-Dubs, I'll tell you a funny story now. Like, literally minutes before the show starts, P-Dubs actually called me and he was like, hey, dude, our friends in Australia just announced there's a Robotron cab coming. It's Smash TV this year. They're going to reskin it for Robotron next year. And I was like, well, where's it to? Can I see it? Like, is there anywhere I can get pics? He's like, they sent me pics. Anyways, complete jerk, man. But I will tell you, don't forget, right after this show ends, go check out P-Dubs Arcade Loft. Multi-Game Mondays returns after a month of absence. Go check it out after this. Our mini arcades, the future for this hobby. Now, as you guys also know, I'm still sick. So, almost a little bit better. Seth Lacey's here, Mark Whitman, JJ Donuts, Shoe Shine, Jason Afterburner should be announced soon. Top Gun 2 is out this week. I don't think that's coming. Al Evickman, what's happening, Al? Bobby Timpson, I think I already said. Bill's Retro Gaming Show. I'm feeling a little bit better, guys. Almost there. Sterling Hall. Charlie Chuck, what's happening? Cheesy B Mondays. Mike Hockerts. Hello from Winnipeg. Nepurgus, Boboy, Terry Hines, Paul 80, T Slayer, Koja Jangles. Who else we got here? Gross Gaming, Jamie Logan. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Is a Father's Day sale a good time to buy an At Games product? If you're going to buy direct, it's one of the best times to do it. Glass Babies, why sell it all? Well, not everybody has to. Maytix. I think that's everybody, guys. Let's get on with the show. David Deming, what's happening? Nooner. Scarpads Comic Treks, Jaquan Shep. I can emphasize, Michael B. I sold my MK2 Legacy. I know, it's tough, man. Anyways, I'm going to put the chat back over here. Let's get started with the show. Hey, Console Kits. Hello to you, too. So, tonight it's all about, the main topic is about when to buy and when to sell. And this is the funny thing. As soon as a cabinet goes up now, you've got those long-standing Arcade1Up people in all the different groups, whether it's the global fan page or whether it's Lewis's group, Arcade1Up Deals and Discussions. And they always say, I'll just wait till it goes on sale. But the thing is, not every cabinet goes on sale. I want to start by talking about a cabinet that I'm really surprised I bought, but I do have this coming. So let me just transition over. Screen share, and of course I've got the wrong one up. I should have had all this up. There we go. So let me go down here, and as you can take a look here, here is the Pong pub table, which you would have saw in the thumbnail, and I have the Pong pub table coming now. When this originally came out, I think it was like $5.99 US. Here in Canada, it was originally $7.99. Arcade1Up Pong pub table. It seemed like it didn't hit the mark. I don't know if it was a combination of the games or if it was the form factor, whatever it was. I'm not sure exactly what the reason was, but it seemed like they had a really hard time selling these here in Canada. So a couple of weeks ago, this went up on sale as part of like a big sale, $300 off. I talked to the Brick, and after the sale was done, they were like, you know what? That really worked well. We sold a bunch of them. We're just going to clearance them out now at that price. I was able to jump back in. So for 40% off, I could pick up a Pong pub table. Now, I said originally I wasn't going to buy this cabinet. I had no interest. I'm the 3/4 scale diva, so of course I wasn't interested. But at 60% its original price, would have been even better at 50, but at 60% its original price, I'm interested. Plus, I need a pub table, so I'm very excited about this. I have this coming. This should be here this week, and that's the thing. I'm a sucker for a deal. A cabinet like this, they made a bunch of them. It's a bit of a weird choice. This is something I'm willing to take a risk on. It's not something I absolutely needed to have, but at a reduced price, I'm willing to pick it up. Now, if you go back to the rest of the list of stuff there at the Brick, let me just bring this up. You can take a look at what's there. You've got Last Chance Big Blue, and if you go to the Arcade1Up sale page right now, Big Blue has been there a couple times on sale. Like a bunch of these things, and what I want you to look at, these are all, here's the main topic here, all the ones that are here are usually big licensed tables that typically they expect are going to sell really well, so they may overproduce them. They may make more units than what the normal desire is. Like Simpsons, we've seen that at Walmart being bombed out at some Walmarts for $199. Here it is on sale here. X-Men's the same thing. We had one actually show up in Canada, which is an anomaly, on clearance for 50% off at Walmart in store. That's on for $200 off. Terminator 2, which again is seems to be a popular game for on sale. The price was a little bit high. One game, it was questionable. I love the cabinet except for the horrible Vaseline screen filter. But other than that, excellent cabinet. It's stuff like that. When you see a game come out, like NBA Jam's another really good example one. These are all marquee games for Arcade1Up, which means they're going to make a absolute shit ton of these, and put them out to retailers, and then retailers are going to buy up a bunch of them and eventually decide they're going to clear out stock when new stuff comes out. So these are the ones that are typically you're a little bit safer on, waiting to see if they go down in price or to see if there's a sale coming up. I mean, when The Simpsons first came out, even though P-Dubs, sent me the cash because we had that bet for it, I didn't jump and, well, actually, I did have a pre-order and it got screwed up through Walmart, but right away there was a sale for $100 off, which, I basically used, so that was great. I didn't see a sale early on this, but there was a sale on T2 pretty recently after it came out. The pinball tables, after they went up in price, constantly on sale. I don't think these sold well. The head-to-head tables, this new line, I've seen them on sale in Canada too. I don't think they were a huge hit. Again, the Pong Pub table, which we just talked about, which I've got coming. And then some of the legacy cabinets in Big Blue. All of these products were mass-produced to put out to retailers. So those are the ones that if Arcade1Up, you're looking at it and you're like, I don't know if I want to jump early. Those are the ones that it's a little safer on. Mike, let's put this info in spreadsheet form. Not a big spreadsheet guy, P-Dubs. So anyways, that's the thing. If you guys are looking at an Arcade1Up and you can avoid the FOMO, you don't need the product right away. There's certain cabs that you can wait on and kind of take a chance on. However, keep in mind that if you wait too long to pick it up, once it's gone, they're usually gone forever. You can't get it anymore. Like, try to find a, new in-box version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 right now. You're never going to find it. It just doesn't exist. You can buy them secondhand, keep them on the secondhand market, sure. But realistically, yes, console kits. I want to go back, and this is just for console kits perspective, because I did talk about this week. So I was looking for a new layout for my show because I didn't like the fact I was just bringing up the websites and stuff without being on screen. So I went to Console Kit's page and looked at what he did and said, that looks really nice. So I cut out his, used as a model, but what Console Kits doesn't realize is I actually spaced these two windows out a little bit more because they were a little bit closer on his, but I wanted to leave some depth for my shadow there. So while this is pretty much using Console Kit's layout that he does for his screen to screen, it is slightly modified to give a little bit more room between this window and that window. However, I did take what he said to heart and will be changing this relatively soon. This is just something I wanted to try out to make it look a little bit nicer, but full compliment to Console Kits, who actually came up with this format originally, and I borrowed it for trying to do stuff. Oh, I got to show you this comment. Michael, stop the FOMO Gate 2022. Yeah, I know. In the last couple of videos, I'm telling people to wait. It's nuts. Pixel by pixel. It's not pixel by pixel, Justin. Do it again. There's more space between here and there. I intentionally did it. More depth. Anyways, guys. So that's the one. But I do want to go back to the Bricks website. Let me just bring it up here now. And I want to show you the ones that you should possibly be wary of. Like Dragon's Lair, for example. I have my pre-order in for Dragon's Lair from the Brick. Right now in the US, that's a website exclusive cabinet. That's one of the ones that may be done in limited quantities. It's not going out to retailers. So retailers aren't going to blow those out the gates. There's a very good chance once Dragon's Lair sells out, if they can sell it out, it's gone. Now, there might be a sale coming up from Arcade1Up later down the line. We saw that with the Marvel Superheroes Limited Edition. Maybe there's something like that come up. But those are the ones that are a little bit more risky. Another example would be Tron. Like Tron, a lot of people had questions about, but Tron is on last chance here in Canada, never gone on sale, not once. Tron is full price. And a lot of retailers in the States, it's just sold out. So for the people that were like, I'll wait on a deal for Tron, good luck. Now, where you are going to get your deal on Tron is on the secondary market. I've seen some people selling those pretty quickly, but firsthand, you won't get it. Golden Tee 3D, I think there's a good chance eventually that'll go on sale, especially with some of the stuff coming back. We've already seen sales on Ridge Racers. We've seen sales on TMNT. Legacy cabs, which we're going to talk about in a minute. We've seen the legacy cabs constantly go on sale because these are evergreen products. Guess what? There's going to be a new version of the Midway Legacy again next year. So right before the new version comes out again, we'll probably see these versions on sale again. That's the kind of things you need to be looking at. Something that's a unique offering, really unique, with a limited number made is what you have to be careful of. So like a Dragon's Lair or a Tron, you might want to get that one right away or hope that you can find something on the secondary market at a lower price. But something that they're going to mass produce, like a Big Blue, a Simpsons, an X-Men, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you can risk it. You can risk it, and maybe eventually you'll get it on sale. I'm so excited about my... Come on, internet, work. I'm so excited about my Pong Pub table because I never get the sale because I'm the stupid idiot that has to buy everything right away. And I never, ever get the sales when they're available. So it's so cool. I'm going to get one of these really big sales right now. And I'm really excited to play this with my daughter. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. Oh, we got a super chat. I don't want to miss that. And I hope I didn't miss any more while I was going up. You should see if you can waterproof the Pong top. Yeah, a lot of people have said that. I don't think there's any way to actually waterproof it, like around the buttons and spinners and all that stuff. But I do know I've watched a bunch of reviews on the ScarPads, and thank you so much for the super chat. I watched a bunch of reviews, and they all talk about that piece of rubberite that goes around the screen to prevent water going in from that section. I don't know if there was any way to really waterproof the top. I'm not going to use it as a table. Like I'll have coasters and I might put a coffee on it, but I don't anticipate this being like a regular like drink bar table. Zero Hero, you were excited about Frogger too. Rest in peace, Frogger. Hey, Frogger is not out the door yet. Yeah, I said I was selling it, but it's not out the door yet. The way it was going out the door was to make room for Dragon's Lair, but if I don't buy the new Midway Legacy, I don't need to sell anything else. Hey, Seth Lacey. He says he's got a super chat that I missed earlier. There we go. Seth Lacey, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Sorry for the topic change, but I'd like to know your opinion on what the Miss Pac-Man Legacy will look like. Wanted blue and pink, but I don't know what's next. Arcade1Up don't usually sell the same cabinet again. I have seen nothing on this Miss Pac-Man Legacy cabinet yet. My guess is if it's going to be called a Miss Pac-Man Legacy, it will be a different variation on Miss Pac-Man, maybe a black cabinet. I don't know. I really don't know. Or maybe it'll be wood grain, maybe a different design. Was there a Miss Pac-Man Cabaret? Something along those lines. I'm not 100% sure. I know Miss Pac-Man's the #1 selling game on the cabinet, of course, but I don't know what the art will be, Seth. Thank you so much for the super chat, but I'm as mystified as you are, brother. Hopefully it's just the right stuff. Flex tape might work. Ooh, flex sale. You can put a Trong Progen on it. Arcade Economics 101 with Michael B. Listen, Kongs is what I'm saying not true though. All of us that've been around looking at these arcade products, seeing them on sale, and seeing what Arcade1Up puts out for long enough knows that what I'm putting out here isn't any kind of advanced like scientific knowledge. I'm not a scientist. That's more of a nostalgia's bag. It's just common sense. Like, you see the cabinets that go on sale, you see the cabinets that don't go on sale. It's just common sense, rhyme and reason, and I'm trying to make that clear. So for once, I get a deal because I didn't jump on this product. But at the same time, I'll also bring up the point, I can't help myself when there's a sale. So do I really need a Pong pub table? Probably not. I do need a pub table down in my arcade, but I don't need a $499 Pong pub table. But I sure do want it. Uncle Jesse again, have mercy. Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. I'm at the point right now where I am looking to hold off and wait for these orders. I'm not as amped up to just go out and buy everything as soon as it comes out, and I'll get into that a little bit later too. So that's the buying side, guys. Be patient. If it's a cabinet that you really want, get it when you get it. But if there's an opportunity for you to hold off, wait for a little while for certain cabinets that maybe you're not as strong and super interested in, like T2. T2 will probably go on sale again yet. And I think it's an awesome cabinet. So if you were a little bit hesitant to buy it at the top price point, wait a little while. And if it's like it is now on sale for $150 off and that entices you, now's the time to buy. But for the people that want it right away, go get it right away. Do whatever you want to do. P-Dub's Arcade Loft. Mike buys every Arcade1Up product in 2022 confirmed. I do not think so. Not this year. Not this year. Definitely not. Just had a baby. That's not happening. What's the longest I've gone without buying a new arcade or a new Arcade1Up, Jamie? You got to be clear. But I will tell you, this year I went from January, I bought Terminator 2, and I haven't bought another Arcade1Up until just last week when I got the Pong pub table. So I went from February, March, April, May. So about a little over 4 months I went without buying an Arcade1Up this past year. I know I got, what you have to keep in mind, I got Killer Instinct. I did get another new cabinet. I got Killer Instinct in that period, but that was a trade and I didn't buy it. So 4 months, which is actually pretty surprising. Now, I did get other arcades, like I got the MVSX back there, but you know, I got the top as a demo, and then I bought the, I don't know what you call it, the riser to go with it. And I got the, where is it behind me? The Legends Ultimate Mini there the other day. But I thought the game table was on sale. Infinity game table, not that I've seen. I've never seen that on sale. Maybe in the States, but definitely not. So, guys, that's the buying side. But what about the selling side? When should you sell an Arcade1Up cabinet? Now, I usually have a lot of problems with this. I don't like selling my stuff. I'm a bit of a hoarder. But unfortunately, because I only have so much room, I have limited space in my arcade, every now and then I have to let something go. Now, typically I've done this when I've had new stuff coming in. Like the first time I really started selling Arcade1Up cabinets was when the Legacy units first came out last year. I got the Midway and Capcom, and I let go of those 4 cabinets. And then also I decided to also sell my Pac-Man 40th anniversary because of the awful Vaseline screen filter, and get the new Legacy coming out. So those were the first cabinets I sold. But then after that, I started selling some other stuff. Like I let go of my NBA Jam because I knew I had new 4-player cabinets coming. And I just did a whole video on selling cabinets, so I don't feel like I need to fully explain that again. But the thing about it is, sometimes you make mistakes and you regret it. Like, one thing I'm very happy I did was I bought Street Fighter 2 Big Blue. But I also held on to my Capcom Legacy because it allowed me to put each side by side and decide which one I wanted to keep. And to be honest, there's a lot of things I liked about the Capcom Legacy Edition over the Big Blue cabinet, but in the end, it was the form factor and comfort playing which really won out for Big Blue, and of course the online play. And then I had that awesome trade opportunity with my buddy Mike Dalton to trade my Capcom Legacy for the Killer Instinct, so I'm glad I kept both. Now, I had planned to do the exact same thing with the Midway Legacy cabinet. And to be honest, I didn't think I was going to even be able to sell my Midway Legacy because I don't know if you guys are familiar. I'd have to go back and look at my Twitter and see if I can find it. But the Midway Legacy cabinet went on sale a bunch of times here in Canada for like $200. People were buying it off Wayfair. I know a bunch of people that I put that notice out. They've got a Midway Legacy cabinet thanks to me on that one. So Midway Legacy for $200. A couple other sales went up. I was like, man, I'm going to have a nightmare selling this. But then my buddy Mike Dalton, the same guy I did the trade with, he told another guy here, and his name is running a blank here, even though I talk to him all the time. Anyways, he purchased my Midway Legacy off me. He reached out. He was interested. And, I told him the truth. I usually try to sell my cabs for 500 Canadian. I buy them for, $5.99, $6.90 after tax. That was the price. So I asked 500 and I usually negotiate. And he was willing to give me $450 for it. So the opportunity to sell it, even though the Midway Legacy was nowhere near, was very great for me. So I decided to let it go because I knew all along I was going to get the Midway Legacy. Fast forward until this week, and the Midway Legacy cabinet was announced as well as the other Legacy cabinets. And of course, you go into the machine and you know exactly where I'm going with this. Panel 3, and we get this screen stuff going on, and I don't know what it is. Now, in the video that they put out, I'm going to go down here and just see if I can pop up this video for you guys. I know Justin went into great detail. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch Justin's video on the screen stuff. It's much better than what my video was, but Justin took a comment on my video and really put it in perspective and talked about the problems with the screen, how it's a 5x4 and the game's still 3/4, and there's some mirroring going on here on the screen. There's the girl pointing at the screen saying it's shitty. But anyways, if you want to, go check that out and you can find out all the issues with the screen. Now, I don't know if there's actually going to be a problem. I like right now, you guys have all probably seen it. I'm going to bring this up. This tweet from Worst Jago here. Someone put in a ticket and asked for clarification on the new Arcade1Up MK Legacy cabinet, basically asking, will the screen be the 4x3 BOE monitor or will it be a new 5x4? And Arcade1Up, Dan from, Sam from Technical Support answered, Mortal Kombat 30th Anniversary Legacy will carry LCD monitor, 17-inch, 5x4 resolution. It is what it is, guys. So, I know a lot of people like Zero Hero, he responded on Twitter saying, yeah, I don't believe anything that, technical support says. I would advise you guys to write technical support yourself. Someone else, find your answers. I actually know, but I can't say. But, it looks like, according to this, that it's going to be a 5x4 monitor. So it looks like there's going to be a new monitor in the cabinet. Now, do I think it's going to be as bad as it looked on the video? Obviously not. That stuff was shot like a year ago. They probably didn't even have the right program on they didn't have the final program on there. I think it'll be programmed much better than what we're currently seeing. But I wouldn't even worry about this. Like, UAG brought up a very good point in his tweet underneath. He said, I don't recall anyone having an issue with the first MK cabinet. That's not 100% accurate. A lot of people complained about the screen, the brightness, and stuff like that on the original MK cabinet, but that's fine. But anyways, it was still very enjoyable. As B. Kong says, it's playable. So, if it's as good as what the screen was like on the original Arcade1Up cabinets, like I had a Wave 1 Centipede until recently. If the screen looks as good as that, you know what? That's okay. It's not a 4x3 Bowie monitor, which is incredible, an IPS monitor, but at the same time, as long as it's good, it's good. The problem, of course, comes in when we're talking about recently we've seen how bad the Golden T monitor is, and no matter what way you can go back and forth and try to justify it, explain it, that Golden Tee monitor is a pile of shit. It just is. And if you like it, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be raining on your parade or anything like that. It's just not a great monitor. So when we find out that these monitors have changed, it leads us to a little bit of pause. And I'm also I find it strange that Arcade1Up themselves haven't said anything. Now, I'm not looking for some grand declaration or anything like that. I'll just be very, 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 very clear on that. Like, I don't think Arcade1Up, I'll see if I can find it here for you guys. Just give me a second here now. I'm going to see if I can add this. And if I can, it'll be glorious. And I'm sorry, I should have had this done already. Let's see. Yeah, here it goes. So I don't think they needed to, send out descriptions and stuff like that. Like, here's this. Oh, by the way, shitty screen. I don't think that was necessary. They didn't really need to send that out. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I just want it to go. So I don't think they needed to do anything like that. But I will say it's painful to me that Arcade1Up didn't just put down here, right here, under features and specifications, 17-inch 5x4 XXX monitor. They don't have to make this grand proclamation, but I mean, if you're making very significant technical changes to your gear when you have set standard, let your loyal fan base know. It doesn't need to be, Scott Bacharach doesn't need to be walked out in the streets with the shame stuff from, Game of Thrones and Cersei Lannister while he explains to everybody the screen's different. It's just a different screen. Let people know so we can make educated purchases. Like, I would look at it and be like, oh, okay, well, there's a new screen. I'll probably wait to see some reviews before picking it up. It's not going to affect your mainstream base. No one gives a shit. And the mainstream base is going to be like, Mortal Kombat, yeah! They're not going to care, so it's not going to impact. But the people that are your hardcore fan base will see that and say, okay, I'm going to wait before I make a purchasing decision. But the downside of that is if you don't actually put some kind of notification up, you don't tell people that there's a change in monitor if there is, people are going to buy it like they did with Golden Tee, and then it's going to become a thing where you then have people arguing back and forth. Like, I've countless people wrote me and said they returned the Golden Tee because how bad the screen is, and maybe it won't be a problem, but if you tell people up front and they walk into it with an educated decision before they purchase something, you're going to get a lot less community lashback, a lot less bad word of mouth. So I just think they should put it there. I'll say that, and then that's it. I don't want to get into a huge comment about ScreenGate. I'm going to wait to see what happens with this. But anyways, it makes me pause because I kind of regret selling my Midway Legacy now, because I don't have it right now. I have no way to play Mortal Kombat. My $450, while it's probably more than I would have got later on. Stefan Rowe, that's the guy about it. Thank you again, Stefan. It's probably more than I would have got later on, but at least I'd still be able to play Mortal Kombat and stuff and Tapper until this new cabinet came out. And at least then, I probably could have had both cabinets, played both of them, and decided which one I wanted to keep. So that's all I'll say on that point. Sometimes you might want to hold off from selling. Of course, the earlier you sell, if you know you're going to upgrade, you're going to make more money. But you risk exactly what I risk. You might have made a huge, terrible mistake. I don't know, guys. This cab might come out. It might be fantastic. Anyways, speaking of which, that was the huge news from Arcade1Up this past week, was the Legacy cabinets came out. So I want to go back there for you guys. I want to know from you in the chat, did anybody pick up any of these Legacy cabinets? I'm not going to shit on the screens anymore. The screens are what they are. It looks like it's going to be a new 5x4 monitor. I have confidence that Arcade1Up are going to be able to put these out, and the monitor is going to look pretty good. We'll see. I got to be careful saying that because Golden Tee is not so good. I mean, Jesus, look even at the picture NBA Jam here. No, I'm going to fixate on this if I don't give it up, so I'm going to go off that. But anyways, we've got the 3 new Legacy cabinets. All the designs are fantastic. I mean, except for the fact that it's a horizontal screen on Centipede. I mean, every one of these is unique, interesting, new form factor, looks really cool. Mortal Kombat looks like $1 million. And, you know, that price point is pretty great. So, great for Arcade1Up. hopefully the screens work out to be pretty good. Excuse me, guys. I'm still dying from this cold. It's been an absolute rough week. Hey, Mike of all trades is here. What's happening, Moat? Endless One Up. Where is it? Maybe Mike of all trades isn't here, and Endless One Up was being funny. There he is. Yes, Mike of all trades. You're talking about a difference of $50 bag week cost. I don't know. Anyways, it is what it is. These cabinets are coming out. I think that as much as it's enticing to go out and pre-order these, still do it. And like, if you're one of the people that went out and bought the Golden Tee 3D and you're like, all this screen gate is blown out of proportion, like, you have nothing to worry about. You'll love the screen on this cabinet. Otherwise, let's wait and see some reviews. I'm fingers crossed because the cabinet is so freaking cool. I want to play people in Mortal Kombat Online. Fingers crossed, everything's going to be awesome. But here's where Arcade1Up have to be careful, because if they're changing things, we're not getting the same level of quality from specific parts. You know, we had a downgrade in the speakers or whatever the hell happened there. Now it looks like we're having a downgrade in the screen quality. What's going to happen is, much like I'm telling you, let's wait for the pre-order. Let's wait for the pre-order period to go past. Let's wait till some people have some of these products in their hand. Where Arcade1Up are going to have to change their stance on this is Arcade1Up are actually going to have to maybe turn around and start putting out some review units again, because they're going to need to build up the word of mouth. If they're changing the quality of their product, putting out something a little bit different, people are going to be a little more gun shy to pre-order. Maybe get some review units out there. People in the community, they're going to do good, honest reviews. So, like, they did a good job with Killer Instinct. Like, there were a lot of people nervous about Killer Instinct and how good it would be quality-wise in terms of how it would perform graphically, would it run, would it play well. That's why they sent one out to Twisted Chris. Like, I don't even know if anybody ever watched any of the celebrity people they put it out to. I don't know if it made an impact at all, but Twisted Chris's review did an amazing job in the community of getting people to say, hey, I feel pretty confident that this cab's coming out. So you've got 3 new legacy cabinets coming out. There's questions out there already, about the screen, whether or not you want to blame YouTubers or whatever it is. I mean, obviously you put the pictures out there yourself, so people are going to have questions. Why don't you send out some review units to YouTubers, some people the community know, and I would say me, but it doesn't really matter. Send them out to whoever you think, because I think that'll help you if the screen is good. Get ahead of this. Send some review units out there. Let people know early, and then people could jump on and pre-order. That would be a good idea. There's lots of people out there that can do good quality reviews, honest reviews, and it's something you guys haven't done recently. Yeah, Zero here. Like, when you send them out to the, like, Arcade1Up haven't sent out a lot of review units recently, like, and when they do, like, they just recently sent out like a Simpsons to not John Riggs, one of the other Metal Jesus Rocks guys. What's his name? John Hancock. So they sent the Simpsons Arcade1Up out to John Hancock. He did a review of that recently. Like, Boogie2988, who's got like 4 million subs and a full arcade in his house that was all review cabinets sent to him. They sent him a Marvel pinball to review as well, to try to move some of those units. Like, those are great. Those are good people to send out to. I don't know what the right term is, to try to get some people outside the scope. But in order to make people in the community feel better, maybe send some out. Of course, I would say me, because, I'm not going to turn down an Arcade1Up. But there's other excellent people out there that'll do honest reviews. Mike of all trades, Console Kits, P-Dubs, UAG, lots of people that you can send them out to that the community will listen to. Send out some review units. Shut people up about the screen so they have an honest opinion of them going forward. That's my suggestion if there are changes to your products. NBA Jam, if you don't want people shitting all over that like they did Golden Tee, send out a couple NBA Jam review units in the community and, make people feel at home. That's what I would say. Use your increased market reach. Exactly, Console Kits. That's why you put it out to guys like John Riggs. That's why you put it out to Boogie2988. I always hate it, and I'm being selfish here a little bit, because, and I'm going to say something I shouldn't say, because like, it's funny because like they'll send like a review unit out to somebody and then everybody's like, oh yeah, that person's going to do a biased review. But yet they send one out to like John Riggs, who has 100,000 subscribers, and no one blinks an eye. But like if a smaller YouTuber gets one, obviously it affects his credibility. I don't understand why people go that way. Send a review unit to Dr. Console Fanboy. Yeah, I mean, Zohar would be a good person to base it off. I mean, obviously, huge Mortal Kombat fan, so he can give his review on that. Plus, he's got Bobby Vu's unit. He'd be a good person to get a review cab, but send one out to a couple other people in the community that are known for really tearing these machines apart and giving honest feedback to the community. That's a good idea, too. That's my guess. That's my suggestion. You want to get rid of the gates? Start working on review units again. And obviously I'm going to try to help out all the people in the community that do reviews on these, because the other side of it is this shit is expensive, man. And, a lot of us that are buying these cabinets and reviewing them, like, we're essentially beta testing and providing the reviews. So it'd be cool to see some other people get some stuff. So I would like that. Anyways, that's my whole piece on buying and selling. My recent experience, I finally didn't buy something and availed of a deal with the Pong Pub table. And then I also got burned on selling something early for the first time, where I sold my Midway Legacy, and now I'm not as strong and anticipated to jump on the new Midway Legacy. So that's all I will say for that. Oh, thank you so much, P-Dubs, for making that suggestion, brother. Yeah, no one has to click like if they don't want to, but I appreciate it, brother. I'm sorry, guys. Still sick. It's been a rough couple of weeks. Just really quickly, I've had this cold for like a week and a half, and like people keep writing me, and they're like, "Oh man, do you have COVID?" I don't. I've done the test a bunch of times. Just have this wicked cold flu or whatever it is that won't go away. On top of that, like my wife's been in hospital for the last couple of days. It's nothing super serious, but I've been running back and forth. That's why I've done like nothing. After I finished putting on my video about the possible screen issue with Mortal Kombat, my wife looked at me and she said, "Yeah, I got to go to the hospital for my stomach." So she's been in the hospital all week. So it's been a wild couple of days. So give me a little bit of a reprieve tonight. I'm trying to get through this stuff as sensibly as possible. Thank you so much. And sorry for coughing into the mic, guys. Anyways, the next thing I want to talk about is something a little bit different. Let me pull this up here. So we all know this guy, John D. John Diamond is currently on his way to a licensing convention, and he asked earlier what titles we want to see locked down. And the reason why I'm bringing this up specifically is one of the titles John's brought up a lot in the community has been Shredder's Revenge. And I look at this and I say that's such a weird choice to suggest. Like, I love it because I would love to see more value added to the TMNT cab. I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cab. I still have my Wave 3 Turtles cab, and I got the light up marquee for it, so I'll never part with it unless they do an XL or a Pro. And at that point, with the original, not the Turtles in Time art. Ugh. No Turtles in Time art. But if they ever do a Pro or an XL Turtles with the original Turtles art style, I'm all in. But otherwise, I'm going to keep my Wave 3 cabinet. I'm going to hold on to that like grim death. But when Turtles in Time come out, it's not hard to see that maybe it hasn't been a super successful cabinet so far this time around. And the feedback that I think Arcade1Up have received is there's just not enough added value being added. I think the biggest problem, of course, was the fact that they went with the Turtles in Time art, which is cool, unique. The purple and green is cool, but like it just throws people off. I think if they did Turtles again, believe it or not, would have been more of a big seller. I would have probably got my cabinet out and got the new one. But what they keep hearing is needs more games. So suggestions have been out there like the Cowabunga collection coming out. Maybe they could add that to it. But one of the things that John D has been pushing, and he's asked the community, I don't want to bring it up in the Facebook group, but he asked whether or not we should consider Shredder's Revenge. Should he pick it up? So I'll ask you guys now. I'll go back. If John D did get Shredder's Revenge, what do you want to see it as? Like for me, I would be fine with Arcade1Up getting a license for Shredder's Revenge as a bonus game on a future Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cabinet. But what my concern is that they would have to get Shredder's Revenge and then come up with a new, unique cabinet for Shredder's Revenge. Now, I don't have any interest in that. Like, I would have interest in iArcade doing it. Like, I think that would be a good fit for iArcade. But for Arcade1Up, and I might be speaking out of my ass here, I want them to be the purveyors of nostalgia. I want them to... I look at Arcade1Up to be the company that's going to release stuff like the Nintendo Classic, the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. Take something from the past, redesign it for today, and give it to me for retail consumption. I don't want to see them move into a modern scope. As an add-on game on a TMNT cabinet, sure, but not as the main cabinet. Michael B is a super spreader. Yeah, I might just be, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so sick. People have actually wrote me and told me, they're like, I think I got sick just from watching your show. Yeah, and that's another thing I'd be concerned about, because Shredder's Revenge, it doesn't have to be a 16:9 ratio. We've seen it on the iArcade, where they'll show the 16:9 on the horizontal screen, and it's okay. But would Arcade1Up then do a 16:9 screen like a Legends Ultimate, and then, I don't know. Mike Hot Kurt says, I would prefer to get a TMNT XL with the original artwork. Shredder's Revenge is a bonus. 100%. I would 100% do that. John D just wants to block iArcade from getting it. I don't think so. To be honest, John D and Jong are friends. I'm going to be honest with you, too. John D and the guys from Mac Games are friends, too. This is a very small community. No one's pissing in anybody else's cereal for no reason. If John D is doing it, he's not doing it to screw with somebody else. He's doing it because he thinks it would benefit Arcade1Up. I have a feeling, though, if they get Shredder's Revenge, its first run would likely be unique design. See, that's what I'm concerned about. Zero Hero says, relaunch Turtles Gen 3 with 2 original games, Tournament Fighters, and Shredder's Revenge. I love that idea. Uncle Jesse, Michael B, send me some Canadian dollars. I wish I had some Canadian dollars, man. C Marble 360 says, I'm not going to begin to try to limit Arcade1Up just because at any point they could pivot their position and begin to reintroduce arcades again with new games, original new cabs. You know, you're 100% right, C Marble 360, and that's entirely up to them. That's not something I want to buy, and I'm speaking from the perspective of what I want. So if that's not what everybody wants, that's fine. I mean, I'm fine with that. John D told me he's closing a deal for the Dades Legacy. Jamie Loken, you know as well as I do, that's not real. That's not going to happen. Did Act Games sponsor Michael B? What's with the 3 legends behind him? Ray Rockwood, you're not far off. The Legends Ultimate was sent to me for review. I bought my Legends pinball from the Brick. They wouldn't send me one of those, no matter how much I asked. But the Legends Ultimate Mini was recently sent to me as well. And that's coming up for new videos in the future. I'll explain that a little bit later. No, John D doesn't say he buys all the licenses, so no, get out of here. Anyways, that's the little one I want to touch on. John D's gone away to a licensing thing. For all that's holy, everybody write him and tell him to work on Nintendo. I mean, he doesn't need any pushing, but everybody write him and tell him to work on Nintendo, like a Donkey Kong cabinet. That's what we need. So, guys, pivoting again, we also had some iArcade news this past week. So there was a special announcement today from iArcade. I'm going to move forward a little bit. And if you guys are going to watch P-Dub's stream coming up here in 15 minutes. Holy shit, I got to get through this quickly then. So if you're going to be watching P-Dub's stream coming up in 15 minutes, you'll know that on his thumbnail for his arcades, there's a picture of Riptide Renegade. And I knew what the news was early, so I kind of gave him a little bit of a hard time about it. But Jong and them did a special announcement today. Riptide Renegade is now going to be an online game. I think they're working on it. The idea is that it's going to be coming out Friday, but they wanted to announce it. They've been doing a lot of online games for like more classic games. So this is the first newer version game that's going to be coming out. It's a racing game. Really cool concept, so good for them. They also did online for Night Slashers, which is one of my favorites. I haven't personally been able to get online to play anybody yet. I don't know if it's a Canadian thing or if it's my mesh internet. I gotta look into that, but I'm hoping to eventually be able to get online, especially when my gold cabinet comes here and I do my hardwire. I'd love to play Night Slashers with somebody. Give me a second here, guys. I'm dying. Literally dying, So that was the big news from iArcade. They kind of said last week, I'll bring this up as well, for Game Days, in the Game Days show, where they did their announcements for Night Slashers. Oh my god, I love Night Slashers. So when they did their announcement for Night Slashers Online, and they announced, I think it's like Super Tanks, I think the name of the game was, but they did kind of allude to the fact that they might be taking a break from games. Maybe it was only last week, but I wouldn't see that as a big surprise right now. I would imagine that they're really ramping up their online database, plus they're getting ready for the Gold Edition launch to be coming out in, I was getting excited thinking it was June next month, but it's going to be July, so sorry guys. iArcade, hopefully there's more games coming out, but otherwise we got some pretty awesome online games this last week. Give me a Super Mario Bros. Cab with Chris Pratt voiceover. Nobody wants that. Oh my god. Goofyfoot, how amazing would that be? John D said, Gorf Dedicated Cabinet 2023. I would love that. Popeye Sterling Hall, imagine. So many good Nintendo titles. Like, I don't know what you would put on Popeye. Like, Donkey Kong's so easy, right? Because, like, if they do a Donkey Kong cabinet, it's Donkey Kong Jr., and then Donkey Kong 3. I mean, it writes itself. I don't think it'll be a Nintendo legacy with Mario on it as well, but it's one of the better ones because the control schematics all work out so well. I feel like iArcade's announcements are like Dairy Queen saying they're selling ice cream. I got that impression too. I got that impression too that when they said it was a big announcement, I was like, holy shit, is this Space Invaders finally dropping? And not to discredit what they announced today, because good for them. But, you know, I was like, hey, cool. But did that need to be an announcement? I don't know. It was just nice to see Zhang back home. Like, that was exciting. Being able to see Colin and Zhang on and seeing Zhang pop up on Game Days last Friday, that was cool. But, like, I agree. Some of the announcements, like, I think we go into them so hyped, expecting something huge, and then they're like, hey, it's online for Riptide Renegade, and you're like, yeah, cool. So what else you got? And then there's nothing else, and you're like, oh, okay. So Riptide Renegade. Okay. Popeye and Mario Bros. I would like that answer. I don't know what you're talking about. I really hope we get online for Retromania. Yeah, and Moat mentions it as well. Like, to me, I'm just mystified by the fact that Retromania doesn't have online. And, like, what a missed opportunity there. Hopefully they can get that working. So, guys, moving on again. We've got some other news to talk about, which you guys all know, and I want to show you this. Last week, it was announced I actually did a impromptu live stream in the middle of the week, but surprise, look at his face. What do you think he's surprised about? But surprise, and we got the AtGames Legends Pinball Micro. Now, people have been kind of on two minds about this. Like, for me, I'm excited for a different reason than most people are, because I saw what this was originally going to be, and I was like, oh, that's no good. That's no good. The original concept was just this base with nothing else. So I love the fact they put a back box on it as well. They put in pretty much every feature that the Legends Ultimate Pinball has, except for the plunger. But, you know, this is a really cool cabinet. I think where this kind of falls apart is at the price point. But when I say that it falls apart at the price point, you know that when this hits retail, retailers will choose their own price. So $449 now seems pretty steep, but of course this is going to come out. I think National Owners Day Autumn is the target price for when the pre-order goes up, where it's going to be a National Owners Day. There'll probably be an introductory sale, save $100, so $349 might be a little bit more digestible. And of course, when this thing hits Sam's Club, they're going to choose their own price. And as we know from Sam's Club, they usually sell things considerably cheaper than At Games does. So I think there will be cheaper price points out there right now. It's a cool concept for people that don't have room on an awesome pinball machine. Probably the best one in the home arcade market right now. So yeah, this was the big news from At Games this past week. I am literally dying from this cold. It's got to end at some point. Oh my God. I hope this... Chris Kingsborough. So what we've been told, I hope this is like an Arcade1Up size with legs, tall, skinny legs. Yeah, what we've been told, the idea was to have full pinball legs on this originally. So like you would have this little tiny 36-pound pinball machine with these giant legs on it. It's like some kind of crazy spider creature. I don't know what they do. I think just put it on the put it on some kind of tripod and make it desk. I don't know how it's going to work, but it's a tabletop pinball machine, and I do think we're going to see a tabletop pinball version from Arcade1Up at some point, whether it's going to be like that head-to-head table, like they have the head-to-head Pong table, or if it's going to be, excuse me, or if it's going to be more along the lines of what Toy Shock did with theirs. I think it's possible. Chris Zeke says, At Games is the king of ugly. They certainly, I know where you're coming from, Chris. We have, I think, pretty similar opinions on what you want to see in your arcade, and from a standpoint of building a classic arcade where you have all your machines together, you're like 100%. But I'm up here with my stuff in my office multicade, and for a multicade, I want it to look like a multicade. I don't know if that makes sense. Mike of All Trades makes an excellent point. At Games may be ugly, but she performs beautifully. I'm going to say something really lewd in a minute here about this. Sometimes the prettiest girl at the bar isn't going to give you the best night. Horrible. Shouldn't have said that. Sean Nesbitt, what's happening, brother? Oh, it's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. I mean, like, it's so convenient. Glenn's Retro Show announces the Sinden announcement like a week and a half before he comes out and he goes, hey guys, working with iArcade. So I think we all know what's going to happen. Arcade1Up was making a roster for the collectorcades. How pointless would that be? Oh, those collectorcades. Anyways, guys, is that all the news? I think that might be all the news. We got through it all. Unless you guys got some questions. I'm dying of the flu. I know you guys all want to go over and hit up P-Dub's stream later tonight, but Uncle Jesse, I thought this show was friendly. But our user interface will make you frustrated until you want to dump her. Guns need bullets. iArcade has none. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, At Games sells a gun for their machine. Oh, GG. Mike, do you know at the Brick in Canada, the pre-orders, do I know when the pre-orders hit? No, I don't know when the pre-orders hit. I've seen from experience, Arcade1Up the last little while have been doing timed launches. So Arcade1Up will do a launch and then they'll try to get 48 hours or like a couple days, a day to 2 days before they will let other retailers put it up. So usually what I do know is the Brick has special deals with like Arcade1Up. They'll carry products that normal retailers won't. So like Dragon's Lair. Dragon's Lair is a website exclusive in the US. No retailers are getting it. But luckily we get retailer exclusives through the Brick here in Canada, which is amazing because getting stuff in Canada from Arcade1Up Direct is crazy by the time you add shipping, especially where I am, and then your duty into it, you're paying so much more. So the fact that the Brick is willing to do that is great. So, we've seen it ourselves. The Brick carried the Marvel Superheroes limited edition. The Brick carried the Golden Axe limited cab that was limited here in Canada. The Brick even carried the Burger Time cab with certificates. I mean, they get the limited time exclusives. That's all I know. Guys, I literally have a pub table in my arcade. Right now it's sitting in the spot that used to occupy Frogger, and Frogger's moved up to the spot that used to occupy the Mortal Kombat Midway Legacy cab. But what happens? Hey, Tech Wiz, what's happening, brother? What's happening right now is usually my pub table sits next to my Star Wars cabinet, and there's an empty space where there's I don't know what the right term is. There's a beam in my arcade, and then I put my pub table there next to my cabinets right by the door. So basically what's going to happen with the Pong pub table is it's going to go in the same space that the normal pub table was. So everything will be fine. Lots of room. Lots and lots and lots of room for the Pong pub table. And I'm really excited to play with my daughter. My daughter loved playing, even though she wasn't... Hey, everybody back off Frogger here. Frogger's not going anywhere yet. Frogger, I gotta wait to get something else in that replaces Frogger. So let's go a little easy on Frogger right now, okay? A little easy on Frogger. Oh. Team Encoder might be interested in toying with the Legends Pinball Micro. There it is. Has anybody bought something in the U.S. and sent it to Australia? I have no idea. Endless one up. Oh yeah, Buy Stuff Store. Honestly, Buy Stuff Store is the kind of retailer that is taking stuff that all these other products do and playing 4D chess. I saw a picture of their driving cabinet they've got coming out now. I mean, that's so advanced. It's so friggin' cool. Man, go up. Oh, Gigi's asking, when is the pre-orders open for At Games Mini Pinball at the Brick? For my understanding is should go up the same time as the pre-order for when it goes up in the States. So pre-orders for US and Canada, according to this, start around National Owners Day autumn. Frogger is my flan. I love Frogger. I don't want to say goodbye to it. I'm hoping they do eventually do a Konami Legacy cabinet with Frogger on there. I did talk to John D about that, and there's some things you can make up for the art. I mean, the problem with the art is it's originally a Sega cabinet, so you got to get Sega on board and get Konami to agree to work with Sega to share some of the proceeds for the original art. But if you did a Frogger cab with the original art and the original marquee, I think they would have a easier time selling it. Music's never going to change, though, so some people will just never be happy with it. And get rid of that goddamn Vaseline filter, and I'll buy another Frogger, 100%. Anyways, guys, I'm going to cut it a little bit short tonight, unless anybody has anything to say. P-Dubs is going to be coming up in just a couple minutes on his. It's the return after a month of Multicade Monday. Everybody go check that out. I'm going to go decongest somewhere and try to make myself better. Hopefully I can take my wife home from the hospital tomorrow, and she's back and up and running. Everybody, have a wonderful night. Enjoy Multicade Mondays with P-Dubs. This is Michael B. the Game Genie. I'll talk to you guys next week.